Excuse me. I have woken up with a really run down body today. So Tuesday. Sorry, I forgot to put the date down. I've had to make a note today. So I'll keep it short today because I'm extremely unwell. Right. 4:30 yesterday. 4:30 yesterday. I was trying to just pay the bare minimum, and today was trying to get some energy to subject of disabled people, not just me, United Kingdom, that's going through Unlawful talks. So it's to do with all rebuttal somehow. And anyone who has a bad day, which mine are quite frequent at the moment, the presumptions being made by a woman in this situation, is so contracted by capita, which is known as this Capita Business Services Limited company, head office in London. Got an email for the one of the, in statute law, I suppose, and in contract law. It is a female that works in the complaints department, and I need a miracle to have energy to email to them. That individual female. I've got an email for her by previous research, because I am still, like thousands in the United Kingdom, unlawfully being targeted by tort law. In statute law, in brackets, is a crime, which means all over yet again, it's nothing new, I know, but it's I can hardly talk about it. Oh dear, I'm going for it today. Try to boost my immune system up. Oh dear, you go to bed alright, and then you wake up and your whole body just shuts down. Oh. And this is where I have the problem with my transferring when I'm so weak in my right side, which I am today. I'm not very safe transferring. So I've had a kind friend staying throughout the day with me, just to try and clean out one of my late mum's Hoover. She gave to me, it needs a good clean out. That individual washing mail has disappeared on me, so don't even go there, I tell you. I know what's going on with him. I ain't going to make that public, because that's his business, not mine. He'll eventually find out what's going on in his news. And the young chap, and she's older, and she knows what she's doing, manipulating him. I know who's behind it. I've known of this, and I don't know her per se, but I know who she's connected to, and I know them in the town for years. Right, we're not going to focus on that. The focus is on this situation. I'm just experiencing this firsthand, so all I can just share my knowledge. It's up to you what you want to think. Unless you do a full rebuttal of the presumption, i.e., I fail to attend, they call this. Call it part 3 of my note. Excuse me. Oh, bananas and yogurt. That's all I can do today. Right, so unless you fully rebut, and rebuttal is putting the record straight. So the 13th of November 2018. Presumption is made on non-first-hand evidence that an individual was not at home, for example, home visit offer, to do a PIP, that's known as personal independence in the long title, transition from DLA, which is disability living allowance, to the PIP, and it's like a new offer of a contract. That is from the company. Yes, I know it sounds a bit strange, but when you research and got the evidence in paper format, I've done this for years, not as much able to anymore. Department of Works and Pensions, Head Office, Clacton House, London, and Area Office throughout UK, known as Job Centre Pluses now. They're all corporations. Excuse me. So the only way I can do this is I put at point 4A. Email the complaints email female in London head office about direct discrimination using their statutory system against them. Statute law is known as Discrimination Statute Act, and then we're looking at disability, lack of equality. So that's correction I put in the title. It's known as they're constantly doing this and they don't give them monkeys. It's all business to them. It's Statute Law, Equality Act 2010, Section 2122. So despite knowing this, the other email in conjunction, it needs to have a document attached by email. I'm not in the state to have to do that, so I hope that my individual private life friend might be able to do this for me. And that goes to, I found the email in one's area, and I won't stay, that's their complaints department. So you're running this parallel to, well, one may need to run this parallel to what's known as statute of mandatory consideration. I have the evidence of first-hand knowledge that the dates again, this is unreal, of it was the Saturday, it was dated a Wednesday, it's either 17th or the 10th, 2018. As soon as I had an offer, July, now in November, this has been going on constantly. There's many phone calls. I have the times, the dates of phone calls. The former public servant assistant, which, don't get me wrong, I appreciate that assistance. So I go back to the date this was posted for me, the additional, it's called additional medical evidence. They never looked at it at all, and this was done by postal service known as. One was done for the Capita Business Service Limited, and that's recorded post, because I heard that PO box they use at Allington, UK area office. It's a call centre, all call centres. I wasn't too surprised to find out yesterday before the internet crashed again on me, that they are just different men and women in a call centre, a bit like any business. They are a software company. Capita have two different contracts. One is for the Department of Work and Pensions Corporation. The contract deal's worth a lot. It's fine to pay for fit for work. Did you turn the heating off? Sorry, I talked to my mate. Yeah, there's a lot of. There's not I can do when I'm ill like this. Just a damp cloth wipe down. This individual tried to DIY. There's a lot of dust. For some reason, despite cleaning up, there's still dust. And I want to make sure that that's not lingering around. Yeah, thank you. And then I go back to what I was saying. Yeah, so it's call centres, and they do, apparently in my situation anyway, they never looked at my medical evidence at all. Right, so if we're looking at now, they make it so complex. So the medical evidence of my situation was actually delivered and sent, and they call it, excuse me, a factual evidence, medical evidence report, what one's disabilities are. So whether you have psychological disabilities, physical, whatever it may be. And that in statute law, that medical evidence, I don't know why it was received on a Saturday, because I didn't thought these companies worked on out of hours on a Saturday, but who knows. They're a computer software company anyway. But that was delivered. I've got emails and previous social worker working for a certain area, public sector department in one's area, and she went out of her way, she did her best, and then she left her job, and that's what's caused the problem now. Had I known, because sending this document of additional evidence was on the 20th of 9th 2018, and the other second document, it went to 2 locations. One went to Wolverhampton, where it's on the initial offer. Yeah, I need some paracetamol, I've got temperature still. Where it went on to the special delivery, this one was done with additional evidence. With a letter, I couldn't type. I've lost a lot of strength to my right side now, and I can't use my right side and my right hand the way I used to. And that's got weaker now, again. And so this is another reason why I've been trying to get home visits. Offer of only two local. I'm being connected, don't know what happened, the glitch on this phone data, don't know what's going on. Anyway, if you're caught, if they didn't delete the first paragraph, reception of what I was trying to say, I've only been here, 5 minutes. So, in my area, there's only 2 areas. One is known nationally. The head office is in London, Citizens of Ice. Every town and city have their own branches, but they set up separate companies. It's bloody complex how they work. Ordinary members of the public may not know this, so I'll just keep it basic. So yeah, and it is national. Other one in my area is funded by public purse, borough council, public sector side thing. Can you hear that seagull? We could hear a seagull. It's unusual. We're not nowhere near lakes. The weather's getting strange, I tell you. You could hear the noise in a tree outside. She's at my kitchen window for me. Trouble is, when you live ground poor, sounds like a seagull in distress. Small bird, but the small birds don't make that loud sound. Of a seagull sound much louder. I used to live by the coast years ago, so I know what seagull sounds like. Anyway, go back to point in hand. Yeah, this was posted for me, 20th of 9th 2018. It was received and signed for. It's a massive post-handling site, A or B. I know, it's a bloody nightmare. So, this will be campaigned out. It's a certain way to do it, and there's certain documents which I do not have the physical strength today. I'm so unwell. I just hope on a miracle can happen that I can get it in the post somehow tomorrow. I only have, they call it all this. There's also not just about contract law, a counterclaim to be buried or for some reason, so bear with me. So there's assumption being made that I did not attend the House Independence Medical on the third offer, which I did. I was home. I couldn't walk. No one here to assist me or go to the door to let the unknown female. They call it in statutory law, if you don't know this. The individual is looking as a self-employed. How many times I keep doing this on my mobile data reconnecting today, so bear with me. So basically individuals, this individual was coming on her capacity as an employee private dwelling. basically trespassing because I didn't even consent to that day. I require a PM offer, and the original offer for that public servant left job was to sit in on that medical and then offer an OT assessment and other things I'm going on at the moment. Offer condition acceptance is always under duress, unfortunately. And when you're in my position, unfortunately, situation you're dealing with, these thousands of people are, you know certain information. I sign under duress by force or cohesion for any offer of goods and services, whether it's online system now or paper-based. That's all I can do. So regrettably, it's not here to bash any man or woman, not to discredit like they do to me all the blinking time, but it's to set the record straight that the factual evidence I did offer very, very, very personal information, medically, on top, and the extreme, put it mildly, repercussions onto the vulnerable disabled people when they absolutely have their DNA cut off just like that because they got their computer system and technology all wrong. We're dealing with computer technology. We're not dealing with human individuals on, like, if you're on the plane forever. The reality of society yesterday was absolutely been going around homeless for years and he just chooses to live like that. But I could tell that he just chooses to live like that. It's an intelligent older man. And it's hard to hear because I've heard a lot of music in the background where I were, and I don't normally go to where I went yesterday. But I had to do something and done it yesterday, or I wouldn't have been done it today. So therefore, I'm going to keep this short. There isn't any independent at all. There isn't, as I said, since advised nationally, the website my mate checked out. Yes, they're meant to offer home visit position. And the evidence is all there, black and white medically as well. They've ignored that. There's the offer in my area. They've just unlawfully segregated me out, benign for me, and made assumption that one previously, before I got so ill, this is before September 2017, I do that drop-in up the road, they do a drop-in session. No longer able to, my health deteriorated so bad since. That is why I'm waiting for the offer of a lawful offer, what may be offered now, in another subject I won't go into right now. So it all tallies in, and United Kingdom is absolutely just cutting in so hard, affecting the health, security, health statutory systems calls it well-being of the individual, extra costs onto the public purse, all of this is. And if you think there's so many young people out there, which this individual I saw yesterday, don't know him, in a public place, very short time. The amount of young people, teenagers I saw, have no clue what's going on because they're not in that position. But when you get a certain age, you observe life. You don't know when you're going to lose your health, and if you do have your family and you do have support network around you, or God forbid if you've ever fallen out with anybody and you are in the position to make up, I would suggest to do that. You need all the help you can around you right now. I can't emphasise enough what's happening, and it's only going to get, and not be negative on this by the way, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. On the way subcontracted big business, it's all about contracts, it's all about commerce. What is the word commerce? It's financial. It's all about who's bidding for the highest contract. It's not just in Capita PLC. There are two divisions they have. One contract is for NHS England digital, NHS England funding, NHS services. That's all privatising now. then they have a contract for Department of Works and Pensions. So I just, oh, why do you think universal credits come in? It's all linking up everything. Please don't get me wrong, because even able-bodied people can claim the personal independence in the working side, you know. And it's an presumption in the public sector side, if you try and access goods and services as well, that you automatically have friends and family around to help. They haven't made a clause or a allowances or like a giving way for those that don't have the support network. I used to have all this in different ways, but as I deteriorated in my health, then suddenly, no disrespect to my certain family members, but they can't accept the fact that I'm now reduction in my health, or they're able-bodied, you see, and I'm the only one that's not. So you can't predict when you'll get reduction in your health just like that, which has happened to me. And it's just go back on this channel and see about the housing subject and see what's been going on with that. I'm not afraid at all of anything that's happening. I am absolutely thinking it's all people in my position just to do what you can, and working, people are working together in their own little way. But without the internet, what will you do in your own towns and cities? It's about networking safely, careful who you trust, streetwise knowledge. Look at the homeless. You can't always judge a book by the cover. When I talk to these people, I recognise their faces when I'm able to. When I'm not bedbound, I am in bed half the bloody week than I normally ever used to. It's not like me. And I know what's going on with my body. I know my own body more than blinking some of these medical doctors, but I don't disrespect them because they've gone to uni and stuff and got their degrees. So I combine it with natural knowledge I've learned over the years, as well as the mainstream side of things. I've never ever expected to be referred to a particular department and the way my right foot is. And that's on top of pills. I can't just go to drop-ins of certain subjects at the moment because of my personal situation. So all I can say, if you have a belief system, religious system, then trust in that. But every town and city, United Kingdom, I would suggest stock up whatever spare cash you have in. I know it's not healthy, but this is the one thing to prepare for winter. It's here now. Right, what you can do now, and I've learnt this by years of natural remedies, natural health, before I got so ill. It's about tin food, dry food. You know these cans of food you can get with a pull handle, especially when you're disabled, right? And you're limited what you can do in your mobility. It's thinking that way as well, especially when you can't, because the way the system needs to do, and in my situation, is not very good. In the sense I might be in the state system in a way I won't be happy with, but it might need to be done for my other safety. Nothing under natural honey lemon kicks in to my immune system today. Can get my mum's late hoover out and give it a good hoover around. And there is one shop I came across yesterday in my area. Look out for the cheap places you can get. Look up for recipes. I mean, it's common sense, I know. But to get these offline, in case you can't afford the internet and it goes on you. Tin stuff. My mum taught me to have 72 hours worth of food and batteries and torches. I have electrical equipment. I have a massive amount of medical equipment. More than I've ever envisaged I'd need, and it took me ages to cope with the changes. What they're trying to do now is take away that equipment and to reassess me, and the way they're doing it and the way they're trying to imply, I know what's behind it, and it is unlawful. So the fact I'm discussing these important facts is regrettably But to somebody else that might be going through what I'm going through, if it helps one individual, then I'm it. The full disclosure terms conditions of offer services, it should always be any goods and services, like, for example. So, if you're looking at the websites of .gov or whatever links there, it's useful. And if you don't have the ability to do this and you don't have anybody else, you just my account and I do this whatever. Excuse me. Really run down today, so bear with me. So, beetroot, big jar of beetroot. It might be just a jar of beetroot, but when you cut it up in small pieces and you can't even chew properly like I, it helps. There's something to do with, even if you can't buy fresh fruit. This jar of beetroot lasts the year 2020 if you don't open it, because it's in a vinegar. My mum taught me years ago about salt. The preppers out there that might live in different parts of the world, they get in stocks of salt, sea salt, table salt, and that is a good, they use it in preserving food. I'm not in that position. I haven't got the space. I haven't got the ability to do that. But, like, when you find deals for, like, 3 cans or something for £1, or even pot noodles, or even dried food like that, you have to be savvy. There is a website, benefitsandworks.co.uk. Alright, it's not ideal. There are tips how to survive on benefits, but again, it's relying on you having the internet. And I'm just giving some tidbits. God forbid you've got no internet. It's shutting down public access to internet. And if it is the internet, it's controlled. All you do is just research the tips, how to survive. There used to be a bump in somebody's go, I can't just get to these church places. I can't in my wheelchair. I can't do the food banks. Yeah? And still, I can't get the referral to block the referrals to age concern. I'm 54 now. So I meet each group for that service. But still will not do support me the way I need it. So, unless it's all red tape. So that would have been ideal, having somebody to visit me, but still there is an issue with any offer visit to my home is the way I'm left to live like still. So I just go on the basic tin stuff. I'm asked to move out the way the things are going. Those tin food, check the dates. If they like to that by their use date by the end of 2019, it's much better. What's the battery like? We've still got battery. I better keep the shopping on half an hour, so I need to go now. What else? Bread. Look for like the dry pizza bread type impacts. 45.9p ones I find. The wholemeal type does last. Check the dates. Usually a couple of ones I've got. And look for different ways of bread. Changing the way you usually have food. Look for things that's got more nutrition in. Because when your benefits are cut to the bone, you need to look like rice pudding, tin rice pudding. It's better than nothing. I know the diet and what you're used to will be changed. But if you get your body prepared for it now, well, it won't be such a shock when it hits. You've got to think of keeping warm. So you get, if you've got old bedding, old fleeces out from year and year, like I, luckily enough, my former sister, where she was at the time, is brilliant at crochet, and I've got this beautiful warm bed cover on top. So yeah, with my mobility disability, I can't just have 2 duvets on top. It's too heavy. And although I got them, there's other I have to think of my disability, mobility, as well as having safety, as well as I have to think of everything else on top, put it that way. So reserve your energy when it's best. God forbid if you have to lay in bed all day to recuperate your body, and that's so be it. Don't get pressurised by bloody phone calls and emails. Turn off your devices if you got them. Just practical tips. If you got mental health, your disabilities that way, there's basic tips that might help you. I've had to do that today. I'm not in a fit state to do anything much. Just the stream, only because I've got someone here. Concentrate on your home environment. Although, when you end up in an emergency care system, make sure if you're female, for example, if your hair dryer or straightener, make sure you got your receipts still. Keep them, because those items have to be checked health and safety in these environments. If you have a mini heater, like a blow heater, you need to keep that receipt of health and safety, and you need to get a plug that checks, well, if you can't, these carers or in their system where you might end up, will have these plugs to check with health and safety. And they can easily turn around and say, oh, it doesn't meet the health and safety. Just be prepared for important situations might happen. Be prepared for paragraphs. So God forbid what happens. Just see if you're on a list, which I know I am, on the Red Cross priority list for your energy suppliers. So if you've got medical equipment, you need to be charged up. Check your C on this. So it's not just the PIP, it's not just the DWP and capita, it's also to do with, God forbid, when there's a choice whether you have to heat your home or eat, there should never ever be that. Can you imagine the state putting someone in my situation homeless? There's a bigger picture I can't even go into today about all of this I'm aware of and what's behind it. I'm one of thousands of people who knows about things. I'm just me, but I can't go into it all. I just know, thank goodness for the upbringing I was given by my mum. The 72-hour is your medical applications or natural health. Be prepared if you're rushed into a care home or hospital. You can't take natural remedies in hospital because of the way they work in the statute policies and statute law. Just look at foods, even though, as I said, canned foods, dry foods. Read, if you can, get help to read the labels if you have no ability to. Even ask the shopkeeper to read it for you. I don't have the skill or ability to do things online. On these massive blinking, I cannot find for a period last year any stores, UK shops online, because you're limited income and they say you only can spend 20 quid online if you have the internet, and if you don't, so it's all about survival as well. Where people are lucky and you have family friends that sit in on medicals for you, or go with you and record the medicals, and you'll still end up going through the pill. I know that. So you're covering yourself, go back to the beginning, you're covering yourself by doing a mandatory, well, going to do the complaint with the email to capita, DWP, and then you're still within, well, in their system, you have less, really. You need a statement, what's it called? Trying to remember. There's a word said on this website, I can't remember which one now, sorry. The statement of reasons, that's it. You need a statement of reasons why they claimed a personal decision is being made. By the way, these letters are computer generated. Bear that in mind. You don't know if there's a human individual that's dealing with it. I've got the evidence, lucky enough. I can't keep sending things off. I've done it already. I've got the proof. If you have a smartphone, or why you got the internet, scan or take a picture of your proof of posting. And one is an A4 size letter. I'm just going to have that photographed and get my mate to send it as an attachment by email. And one to their by the way, there's a bit of a warning here for the email that is used for Capita Business Services Limited, the standard complaints email. They don't get back to the individual at all. I've used that before. Here's another tip. Go onto a LinkedIn app, so download to the LinkedIn app, or just go into a company's house and check the Capita Business Services Limited and research. I know it's hard work. The email for head office in London, Capita Business Services Limited, complaints email. There's a standard email, but luckily I found this email on social media. Somebody had posted. Sorry, I can't quote it right now. I haven't got it to hand. Otherwise, I would have done that, and I'm not in the pit state at the moment. And then the email for one's area. Also, when you have the health and ability, God forbid, you need to put the counterclaim, I know about how to do this, in writing. Because there is no individual that is bothered from these duty of care to help the vulnerable disabled people in my area, for example, to do the home visit. We saw these national policy. We saw that they have a duty of care. We saw that they do. And they've absolutely refused and blanked. And I know this is deliberate. And the way they've done it, I can't make that public because obviously I'm just want to concentrate on the basics today. So I think I covered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points, 6, 7 points today. And that was just half an hour roughly. So just play back this video, start with some notes if it helps. I just try and rest up when you're really, really unwell and you need your body. And remember, by the way, record. Just let them know that you recorded the call, because they record us, and if they don't want to be recorded as public servants or employees, fair enough, then you just seek clarification. There's somebody else that doesn't mind, and then if there's someone in their department that doesn't mind, then it's going to be done by both. That's regrettable. That's how they work. On the other, as well, with your medicals, you have a lawful right to audio record, and I have that, but I need help to do that. It's a reasonable adjustment. I've got all this medical evidence that's been going on for so long, and what they've done was deliberately just benign for me as a statistic. And just go back on my videos about this Capita, what I've said before. You can see that I don't BS about anything. I just tell it as it is, and hope my experiences, God forbid, or you can pick up something else that might work for your situation. We're all different. And as I said, if you have loved ones, family members, this is affecting everything. I can't get my operations. I can't get the referrals I need. And when you have a grieving from the death of your mum, I'm reconnecting, so I'm going to end this now. And I don't know, some number tried to call this number, and I don't know what it is. God bless, whatever your belief systems are. Trial and error are natural and inalienable human rights. It's just been taken away from all of people in a similar position. It is unlawful, and I've just shown a few tips that might help. By the way, be careful about when you get fake information online that they can help you with all this pitfall fee. Don't fall for these mistakes. There's always a catch. God bless.